there, Morbid Maniacs. Welcome to the very first night of Vlogtober. I am so excited to finally be back and making videos for you guys every single day. Before I get started, I just wanted to say that hello, my name is Melanie, and if you are new here, we post paranormal and spooky content 24/7 all throughout the year. It is Halloween all the time around here. However, throughout the month of October, we post 31 days straight of nothing but paranormal and spooky content. So if you are interested in that, please be sure to stick around and become a Morbid Maniac. Join our little spooky family. Also, I'm going to go ahead and explain my little backdrop over here. So I have my wonderful neon ghost face tapestry, which came from Temu. I have my candelabra, of course, which is burning white candles. One of them has already burnt down for some reason. I have my little gauze tablecloth here with some purple spider lights. I have some black lights illuminating my ghost face tapestry. And then of course I have this little skull crown mug, which I really like. I thought it matched everything perfectly. I really like it this year. I honestly might keep this little setup for a while, even after Vlogtober, but I'm not like 100% sure yet, but we will see. But anyways, tonight's spooky video, we are going to be talking all about Salem, Massachusetts. Or some of the clips that are in this video are clips that I filmed when I visited there back in May. It was an amazing experience. If you've never been to Salem, I highly suggest going and checking it out. If you love Halloween, if you love anything spooky, which I'm sure you do if you're on this channel. But yeah, we are going to be talking about some haunted places in Salem, Massachusetts. Salem, Massachusetts is known to have a very dark and sad history. Many accusations of witchcraft and hangings taking place there in 1692. It's no secret or mystery that the entire town of Salem is riddled with haunting stories of the paranormal. Every corner you turn, there is a ghost story, whether it be a cemetery, a hotel, or a restaurant. The entire town of Salem, Massachusetts is believed to be one of the most haunted cities in the country, being dubbed the official Halloween town of the United States. Here are some of the most haunted places within Salem. So first we are going to be talking about the Salem Inn. Many visitors visiting and staying within the Salem Inn will often report a black cat darting from room to room, and they also feel this said cat stepping on their bed while they're in it. What makes this very interesting though is that the Salem Inn is no owner of any black cat. Objects are said to move around to places which they were not put, and staff claims that logs will be moved from the fireplace all on their own. It is even reported to be haunted by a child's spirit. Many will hear the sounds of childlike laughter and running up and down the hallways. Cold breezes will appear out of nowhere, and sounds of disembodied voices having conversations can be heard in different rooms. The most famous room in the Salem Inn is reported to be room 17. Visitors who stay in room 17 will report mysterious thump and bump sounds. Doors will slowly open all on their own, then slam shut. Personal items will go missing, only to reappear somewhere else. The apparition of a woman is sometimes seen. This woman's name is believed to be Catherine. Catherine was somehow believed to be unalived by her husband, and because of this reason, she has a strong hatred for male visitors. But she is a strong lover of liquor or alcohol, and it's believed that if you leave any sort of liquor or alcohol out for her, she will leave you alone and allow you to get a good night's rest. However, if you do not leave any alcohol out for her, she will make loud clashes and banging sounds, which will often come from your closet, not allowing you to get any sleep. She has also been heard stomping around the room. The Joshua Ward House. The Joshua Ward House has changed its name many times, leaving it hidden. Many who travel to Salem may not even realize just what's in front of them. The Joshua Ward house is believed to be one of the most haunted houses in Salem. Anyone who steps foot into the building will often leave with some sort of chilling story to tell. The home was originally built for Joshua Ward in 1784. It was so popular at the time that even George Washington stayed there in 1789. It's said that George Corwin owned the building before the Joshua Ward house. George Corwin was one of the sheriffs who signed warrants for arrest and those accused of witchcraft. He put many innocent people to an early grave. He was even the instigator of Giles Corey, the man pressed to death by heavy stones. Corwin is believed to be buried on the land. Many who were unlucky enough to visit the Joshua Ward house have claimed to see the sheriff himself. It's also said that on the second floor, many experience a choking sensation. On one occasion, a young man was visiting the property when all of a sudden he felt an invisible force close around his throat and give it a squeeze. The man claimed that he could not breathe at all and that his throat had nearly closed up completely. When he turned around to see who was there, he found nothing. He was completely alone. Legend states that Corwin had a secret witch dungeon in the home, though there's no evidence which actually backs this claim up. He would use this witch dungeon to torture accused witches, leading many to believe that anyone who comes into his home is interrogated in a violent way. There is also believed to be the spirit of a young woman in the home as well. She's usually spotted on the upper floor. This woman is usually seen with very long, crazy black hair, and she is believed to be the spirit of someone who was accused of being a witch. One night in the 1980s, the Carlson Realty was hosting a Christmas party, and I'm sure you guys have heard of this before. I believe I actually made a video on Salem one other time, but because I visited there this year, I had to make another one. One of the employees would go around taking photos on his Polaroid camera. However, whenever he snapped one of these photos, he caught something rather strange. Shaking it, the employee was shocked to see a woman standing in a black dress who was pale and had long black crazy hair. No one was in the spot where the photo was taken at the time. Scratches have been left on people's backs. Books have been yanked from shelves. Cold spots in warm rooms. Candles are found in a pool of wax which were never burned, and these candles are also said to burn in a mysterious S shape. Many also hear the crying sound of a child within the home as well. Turner Seafood. The property was once owned by Bridget Bishop, Salem's first woman accused of witchcraft. The land at Turner Seafood was once Bridget's apple orchard. In 1831, the Lyceum Hall purchased the property. Built to bring a mutual education and rational entertainment to the city, Lyceum Hall would house the Salem Female Anti-Slavery Society. And unfortunately, by the 20th century, the Salem Boys Fraternity would set Salem's Lyceum ablaze. The building was burned to the ground and was rebuilt as a two-story brick building. It would reopen as the Colonial Cafe in 1935, and in 1973, the Lyceum Restaurant. In 1989, it would become the Lyceum Bar and Grill. And today, the joint is known as Turner's Seafood. Doors are said to open and close all on their own. Lights will flicker on and off, and on one occasion, boxes were thrown from a flight of stairs by an unknown presence. Many workers of Turner's often report the smell of Bridget's former apple orchard. Some have even caught a glimpse of her phantom apparition. One night, a worker was closing up the restaurant when something caught their attention on the very top set of the stairs. They were shocked to see another woman standing on the top of the stairs looking down at them. Her first initial thought was that someone had broke into the restaurant, and so she was freaking out. However, after further inspection, there was nothing suspicious in the building at all. This woman was dressed in a 17th century white dress. And some who are walking by Turner's Seafood will often have mysterious apples just appear out of nowhere and roll towards their feet and then vanish into thin air. The Witch House. The Witch House was once the home of Judge Jonathan Corwin and is one of the last few original structures still there from the trials. Now a museum, many who visit the Witch House will hear disembodied voices and experience cold spots. Some have been touched by unseen forces. Others have claimed to hear the voice of a child who was accused of witchcraft within the museum. The Hawthorne Hotel, often ranked as one of the most haunted hotels in America. Many have reported moving furniture, the apparition of a ghostly woman, and unexplained noises. It's had many famous people stay within it. Starting out as the Franklin Building, it was built upon hopes and dreams. However, tragedy would strike, and in 1845, a fire would set the building ablaze. In spite of all of the efforts, they could not put the flames out, and the entire building would burn to the ground. Soon, they would build a new hotel and would name it after the famous author Nathaniel Hawthorne. It would grow major popularity due to the TV show Bewitched, which featured the hotel in its program. Continuing on in the Franklin Building's legacy, in 1997, a small fire would occur in the basement. No one was hurt, and damage to the building was at a minimum. However, many were left with the thought that the fire stirred up the paranormal activity. Many who visit the Hawthorne Hotel would experience the scent of apples, believed to be from Bridget Bishop's apple orchard, which is not far. Employees have claimed to see the ship's helm turn. It's believed the cause of this was due to the sailors of long ago, who once sailed the waters of Salem. Others who stay on the top floor and have left will return to find their items strung all over the room. Antique map charts and other objects are the most frequent objects that are misplaced. Water will turn on and off on its own. Toilets will flush all by themselves. One woman who was staying within the hotel was awakened to her son cowering over top of her. And when she asked him what was wrong, he stated that he heard the disembodied voices of a child sobbing. Rooms 325 and 612 are believed to be the most active in the hotel. Many who stay within these rooms will experience their sheets being tugged on and phantom hands touching their hair or hands as they sleep. Those staying within room 612 will often see the ghost of a translucent woman frantically walking around the room and checking out her reflection in the mirror. The Peabody House. Now, while we were staying in Salem, Massachusetts back in May, we stayed in the Salem Inn. Now, the Salem Inn has three or four different buildings which are associated with it, and one of those is the Peabody House, which is just a little further up the street. We stayed in the Peabody House, and though I could not find any history on this place, I had a few paranormal experiences while staying there. The first night we were there, I had not slept a wink the entire night before, and we had walked miles and miles that day. It was my first time ever visiting Salem, and I was so excited, and when we got back to the hotel to take a break, I was exhausted. The room that we had in the Peabody House, my dad and stepmom were staying in the bedroom with the actual bed, and I was staying on the day bed, which was right in front of the window. And it was still daytime during this time. I'd say it was around like 4 or 5 p.m. And I was just sitting on the bed, and where I was so tired, I was kind of dozing off. You guys have ever heard of this before, but when a spirit is trying to communicate with you or it's near you, sometimes it'll let you know by making these fluttering sounds in your ear, or kind of like blowing into your ear. So I'm sitting on the bed dozing off, and my dad and Jody are sitting on the couch, which is like on the other side of me, and I hear this like fluttering sound in my ear, and I jumped up really fast. I was like, that was weird. My dad's like, what? And I explained to him what was going on, and he told me that it was probably a spirit. The second night that we had stayed there, Jody and my dad had went to sleep in the opposite room. I had just taken a shower, and I was laying down, and I had my face facing the window towards the road, my back facing like towards the hallway and the living space. And it felt as though someone had sat down on the side of the bed. Like you could feel like the impression of someone sitting on the side of the bed. And then I could feel, like I felt this like my entire time there. It felt like someone was just taking their hand and kind of grazing my hair like this. And I kind of lifted my sleep mask up a little bit and peeked out. There was nothing there. I definitely believe that the Peabody house is haunted by something. I'm not exactly sure what. I didn't feel threatened by it at all. I don't feel like it's something negative. You guys know my thoughts and opinions about the Salem witch trials. I believe a lot of innocent people who didn't deserve to die did die at the hands of just cruel and senseless human beings. So I don't know if this person was, you know, an accused witch at one time, or if this was just a spirit who was lingering around in that area. I did pick up kind of like a female vibe from it. It felt kind of like a motherly sort of figure, but it was very calming, and like I said, it didn't really freak me out. I wasn't really scared. So I kind of just let it happen, and it helped me fall asleep. So some of the haunted places in Salem, Massachusetts. As I said, the entire town of Salem is haunted. Like the list and the story could just go on and on and on. There are so many different haunted places, but these were just some of the ones that I found to be the most intriguing. So what do you guys think of these haunted places in Salem? Would you ever visit there? Or have you visited there and experienced anything paranormal? I would love to know in the comments below. Actually, while we were there, we went on a vampire ghost tour, and there was a lot that he was telling us about the town that I wish I could have, you know, wrote down or something, but I didn't because I ended up forgetting all of it. What was freaky about this was when we were getting ready, he was getting ready to leave us for the night, he had walked around the corner, said goodbyes, walked around the corner, and when we walked around the corner, he had disappeared. He was nowhere to be found. And he was supposed to be a vampire, so we could not figure out what had happened to him. It's like he just vanished into thin air. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a big ol' thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and become a morbid maniac. Also, be sure to hit that bell notification. That way you get notified every single time I upload a new video. And I will see you in tomorrow's Vlogtober video.